Well, had some fun this morning. This is not the tragic accident it actually looks like. Took the front loader off because I wanted to take a look at the front of the engine. As it turns out, this thing is like super tightly packed and you won't be able to see anything in here. You're just going to have to trust me on this one. The front main is leaking, which is not a thrill a minute because everything's got to come off and it's a major pain. And in the winter, that's just not something I'm going to get into because my garage, it takes a couple hours to get it heated, and then if I run into any trouble, I'm going to have issues with it. So to hell with it. I'm going to have my tractor guy take care of it. He's the one who used to take care of all the mechanical stuff in the first place, so he'll be happy to have to work again. And then I'll probably have him do the seals too, because these seals are these are bleeders. So get it all done in one shot, I guess. Just kind of a bummer. One of the things that I learned a couple of years ago with this machine is that it's so back heavy with the backhoe on there. If you put the backhoe straight out, it's a good way to at least get this thing up to working level. I mean, I wouldn't go crawling underneath it just in case it was if a hydraulic line or something like that failed on you. This thing would come down and crush you in a heartbeat. But it's good for at least getting the machine up in the air enough to see stuff. Let me see if I can show you. Focus. That be oil. It's dripping all over on top of this thing. And you can see it's all over the skid plate. So when it goes, it goes. Let me move this down a little bit. See if I can get this focused under here a little bit more. Hard to do this with one hand. Can't really see a whole lot. Like I said, there's a skid plate there. So that skid plate's got to come off to get to any of that anyways. But I just basically wanted to take a look and see how it is. It's not running low on oil or anything like that, so I'm not particularly worried about the engine. I don't think the front main seal is going to be that big of a deal. It's just kind of a drag. Puts the tractor out of action for a little bit because, got to get it up there, got to wait for it to get fixed, and then got to get it back. So I think what I'll do is I'll just put my loader back on, then drive the loader and the backhoe out back, and then stick the loader into the garage where the machine normally lives. I'll take those things off, and then I'll just leave the tractor out here so the tractor itself is ready to go, because they don't need all that extra crap in the way. I mean, it's not a major pain, but anything I can do to speed up the process would definitely be helpful. So I'll take these two things off, especially the backhoe. The backhoe's a pretty big pain in the butt. I don't know if you've ever seen the tractors with these things on them before, but that stabilizer bar there means that the 3-point arm has to go directly into this slot here. It's got this edge piece of the step and that bar, and that has to be in absolute perfect alignment for this thing to get in. Well, the only way that that thing can get in perfect alignment is if it's no longer connected to the upper links. So you have to disconnect the upper links, and then you get your pins out, and then that's the only way that, like, I've got to swing the upper links out of the way so they can you see these or not? Maybe you can. Yep, there you go. So there's a little cutout in the bottom one. So that pin there I can leave, but the top pin's got to come out because the top pin actually goes straight through. Everything maintains its parallel because of the way it's locked in with the safety bar. So I've got to pull the pins out of here, lift this up, then pull that top pin out, bring this back down, put that back in, and then I can get this thing to hoist itself off from that bottom pin. But while it's hoisting itself off from the bottom pin, it's also still fighting against this thing here. It is a pain in the arse. I would really just as soon not have that safety bar, but they put that on because that keeps people from twisting the crap out of these arms, and apparently they'd had a big problem with the 3-point style ones, where if that bar wasn't on there and something went wrong, you'd get smashed into your own roll bar and killed. So there's good things about it too, but it just makes for instead of like a standard 3-point one where it doesn't take that long to take it off, this just, it adds an extra 10 minutes to it, and it's just a pain. You get all greasy and it's a mess. I would really just as soon it'd be like one of the new quick disconnects that they have now, because the new quick disconnects are a lot like the front loader, because the front loader, it's just got the little saddle, drops down in there, put the pin in, disconnect the hydros, and you're set. And I mean, that's it. It took less time to take that thing off than it actually took me to talk about it. So, and that's what all the new tractors are set up like, or the John Deeres, where the John Deere has the setup underneath the bottom where the rods, the arms go all the way back, and then you just drop the whole unit down after pulling some pins out of the front. That's a really good setup too. Basically, any kind of setup besides the setup that this thing's got on it right now would be better. But I don't take the backhoe off that much, so it really hasn't been a huge hassle for me, but I don't think I'd go out of my way looking for an older machine with this style setup, because this really is a cumbersome pain in the arse.